Hi guys, Lewis here, and in this video we're going to be recreating the Trello product tour page. And this is a really good candidate for this experiment because it's made up of so many different sections and elements and different layout styles that it'll be really interesting to see how Beaver Builder handles this. So I'm going to head over to the page that I have set up here, and this is essentially just a blank canvas, so it extends the full width of the page. And I'm going to speed up the video and slow it down whenever I have anything to say. Okay, so I'm already having a few issues here. The first one is that the logo, I am unable to resize it. It's far too big as it is. The only option I have is to change it to a thumbnail, which is probably going to be too small. Let's try. It just has some. It's just cut the image off now, so that's not a solution. Aside from that, these buttons, the styling is not quite right. We have a border around them, which I can't seem to get rid of. I can't bold this text here, and because of all of this, this top bar is also a lot thicker than it should be. So multiple issues just on the first section here. So I'm going to carry on and I'll let you know if I run into any more issues. Okay, so with this text, first of all, it took me an insanely long time to get this the way it looks, mainly because Beaver Builder just goes the long way around with everything, it seems. The issue that I'm having here is that there's no way to control the width of this container. I'm having to use margin left and right in order to bring it in from the sides, and I don't know if that's the correct way to do it, but that's the way that I'm having to do this in Beaver Builder, so it's definitely not ideal. The text sizes are also fixed, so there's no slider or manual input. That seems a bit odd to me. And as for the fonts, you know, there's no way that I've found to add fonts, to add a custom font to this, so I'm having to use the font that is inherent to my theme at the moment, which is not too far off, luckily, but obviously that's a big issue depending on what fonts you're using and what page you're trying to recreate. So again, several issues just with this section. Okay, so doing this section, I'm really starting to see now that there is no way to control the width without using margins. I'm having to use margins pretty much everywhere to get things in position. Now, I don't know a whole lot about CSS to know how that affects the front end on different devices and stuff, but it just doesn't feel right, even on the back end as a page builder. I much prefer the way the likes of Elementor and Drive Content Builder handle this with a content container and a slider that allows you to control that width intuitively. At the moment, it just really doesn't work for me. Okay, so I just wanted to stop for a second and say that so far it's actually going pretty well. Apart from that, apart from the few hiccups at the start, I am definitely picking up pace with this, and it seems like Beaver Builder can handle itself with these basic layouts. It just seems to be these advanced styling options that it struggles with. So I'm going to keep going and see how it fares. Okay, so one thing I wanted to point out was that on the Trello site, we have this image here which is being pulled off of the page to the right, so that's a negative right margin. And I did apply it here and it worked actually really well, so I was quite pleased with that. This is something that I have run into problems with before in another video, so you know, Beaver Builder did a good job on this, and I'm just gonna keep going. Okay, so this section here has a pattern background. I was a little bit worried that Beaver Builder wouldn't be able to handle that, but fortunately I put it in, I set the right styling options, and it managed to tile that across quite nicely, so really impressed with that. Okay, and it looks like we're done. I'm not going to do the footer menu at the bottom, but apart from that, the entire page is finished, and I'm going to just save and preview now just to give you a side-by-side comparison. Okay, so this is my page here. And this is the Trello page. You can see they are very similar. There's obviously some issues with the top bar, and the button styling is quite different as well. That's something that I'm not able to fix. The link colors are quite different as well, and that's because it's inherited from my theme. Again, I cannot change that without going into the CSS, which is unfortunate. But aside from that, it didn't do too bad. Apart from the few hiccups at the start, I did get into a good flow, and I'm quite happy with the result. With a bit of tweaking, I'm sure I can get this very, very close to the Trello page. So I'm going to have a full write-up of this over on the Authority Hacker blog. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.